Hi, my name is LaJoy Mitchell, and I am a member of Refresh Global. I am so excited. I was led to learn more about Refresh Global about a year and a half ago. My life has not been the same, and I've seen tremendous growth in me. So the mission is correct. Through one encounter at a time, the world is refreshed. I am a testament of that. I have seen such growth in me, in my learning, but also hunger for more of the Word of God, but then also hunger as it relates to understanding kingdom solutions and that I am a solution in this earth. And I can understand at a deeper level my purpose to help and do that. And Refresh Global has provided me that opportunity to help be a solution through the music ministry, music and arts ministry. I'm able to help with also through LifeWire and learning the behind the scenes pieces with that. There's so many things that Refresh stands for that has impacted my life in tremendous ways. And the beauty of that is there are seeds that are planted that I know will come into fruition even years to come beyond my servitude and being a part of this team. And that is better than any other education I could think of being able to receive that I have received. The opportunity and knowing my purpose, my plan that God has for my life, and being able to serve and give that out and understand what true kingdom solutions are and how we can continue to cultivate those and see more encounters happen all across the world. So the impact is huge on my life. So I encourage you to learn more about Refresh Global. If you don't know about who we are as a nonprofit organization, check out our website, learn more through this Refreshathon. But my life has not been the same. I continue to grow, and I'm so excited to see where I'm going. And I'm excited to see where you're going as you learn more about Refresh Global.
Join us for a time of mental health wellness tips at our LifeWire LifeLine, Mondays at 12 noon on Facebook Live. Parents, grab your preschoolers and join us for fun with music and movement on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom. Every Friday evening, we gather on Facebook Live for a time of prayer. Let's pursue God.
All right. Yes, that was amazing. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Happy Monday and happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month or Cancer Awareness Month. We're in the month of October. Wow, already. Already. This year has surely passed us by quickly. While we've been in the midst of everything, it might not have seemed like it, but for sure, entering into this new month, we are definitely coming close to the end of 2020. And so we are back, yes, with another LifeWire Lifeline moment. And so today we are starting a new topic. We are beginning a new topic. We're going to talk about balancing from work-life balance, relationship balances, balances with your spirituality and with work and with family, really dealing with all of your responsibilities, dealing with everything, all your duties, all of your commitments, everything that you have committed yourself to, and learning how to manage or how to balance or how to adjust to those things that you are involved in or that you have committed yourself to. And I'm sure at the time there are some moments where you've asked yourself, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can commit to this. Yes, I don't mind doing this. And then you realize you have 10 things on your plate at the same time. And then you're trying to figure out, man, how am I supposed to do all of this and yet still be successful at it without being overwhelmed, without having a lot of emotional breakdowns or moments where you're doubting yourself, wondering, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? What was I thinking when I said yes to this? And all of those different questions. But today I'm going to kick us off with this month in work-life balance, which is going to typically kind of be the hub over everything we discuss today, especially now with the pandemic. I know a lot of us adults out there are definitely trying to get a better or maintain a better balance with our work schedules and then with our life. You know, the things that we committed to, life with our families, life with our with the church and our health, for sure, our health, our spirituality, all of those different things, trying to manage and trying to balance it all. And of course, we all say there's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough days in a week to do everything that we have to do. And then it's funny because then I asked myself, if we were given more days, if we were given more hours, would it still be enough? Or will we just find other things to just replace that time? And then we wind up still not having enough time. And so we're definitely going to touch base on all of that. And so I am going to pull up my PowerPoint. Again, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any comments, you may definitely put them in the comment section and we will touch base on them. For sure. Yes. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I definitely appreciate you. My team appreciates you all. And so again, it is always our prayer that this will be helpful to you. And so again, this is everything that I kind of gathered, everything that I kind of researched, everything that I've put together just from experience with my own clients. Again, they may not all apply to you, for you specifically, but I really do try to make sure I kind of give more of a broad perspective, maybe something that can relate for everybody and to everyone. But yes, so we're just going to go ahead and get started with it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to see all of your comments initially, but keep commenting. And then when I'm done, I will review all of them for sure. So let's see here. Yes, I want to share my screen. Yes, this is what I want to do. All righty. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting my life together. And so, all right. I'm sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. Yes. We're definitely going to get started with this. And this is something we all for sure need. Me too. While I was coming up with these things, I'm like, man, I need this even for myself. And so, here we go. Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to make sure and check real quick that you all can see this just like I can. Just going to minimize this real quick and exit out of here. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, and now I'm about to turn this into a slideshow. show. Yay. Y'all don't judge me. I really do my best with these, you know. All right. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. It is my hope and prayer that you all can see this. I'm going to check in every now and then with my production team just to make sure that you all can definitely see this. If not, definitely follow along with me. And again, I will answer any questions that you guys may have later on. So, work-life balance. Work-life balance. The mental, physical, and emotional impact of balance, both the good and the not so good. And then, of course, we're going to provide solutions to that. And so I'm going to start off with an agenda so that you all can get a better understanding on what this PowerPoint, what it'll exactly be about. I'm going to start off with a definition. For me personally, it helps me to start off with a definition on the word that I am discussing or the topic that I am trying to figure out. Okay, well then let me go back 1 second. So I really, really want you guys to be able to see this. So my production team says you can't. So let me just go back here. I'm going to share it again. Yes, this is what I want you all to do. Forgive me, guys. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, so share it again, application window. This is what I want to do for sure. Maybe I should just share my entire screen. That way that you all can have access for sure. Can see it all. I want you guys to get a very clear view on everything. Maybe we do it this way. Okay, just checking in with my production team. Just to make sure that. Yay! And I want the PowerPoint here, so I'm going to bring this up. We're starting from there, from the beginning. Let's see, are we good? I hope we are good with this. Does this work? Does everybody see this now? Awesome. Yay! Wish we had the little hand clap sounds like, woo! That would be so amazing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start this from the beginning. From the beginning. Yay! Okay, so yes, work-life balance. Work-life balance, the mental, physical, and emotional impact of it. This is what we're doing. And so the agenda, I just want to go over the definition of balance and the challenges of balancing when you have so much on your plate. And then again, the solutions to balancing for sure. Just want to make sure that we have a understanding and a brief rundown on everything. And so The definition of balance. This is a definition, of course, that I just pulled from, from Google. It is a condition in which different elements are equal or in the correct proportions. Now, that is the definition of balance. But how many of us can say like, everything, Shar, everything that I'm a part of, everything that I do, all of my duties, all of my responsibilities, I cannot 100% say that they are all equally and correctly proportioned. I give the same amount, for my job, for my work, for my own business, to my church, or, with my family, or with my social groups. I cannot fully say that I equally give the correct amount of proportions to all of those things that I'm involved in. It depending on the season in your life, depending on the time of day, depending on the week, depending on the season of the year. You kind of spend more or geared towards some areas than you do others, right? But I believe that's with everybody. I believe that's with everybody. And then we all pretty much have what we consider a priority. Each one of us have different things that we're involved in, that's kind of more of a priority. For you who are watching, you may say, well, my family is more of a priority than my friends, than my social groups. Others may say, currently my work is more of a priority than my family. Some may say, depending on the priority, depends on which one I committed to first. And so whichever one I committed to first is the one that gets the main priority. And so some of us are different, with our mindsets with that. But I think all of us will say we lived in a perfect world. Maybe everything we would give an equal amount of ourselves into those different elements. But here are some symptoms of a work-life imbalance. So if you or somebody that if they are meeting either one of these symptoms, or and I will talk about other symptoms that I wasn't able to put on here because there is a lot. There is a lot. And if that is you, then you might qualify for someone, or somebody that may qualify for someone who has a work-life imbalance. And again, this is definitely helpful for those of you who are trying to get a more balanced life, work-life balance. Like, man, I want to be successful at my job and what I do. However, I still want some time for me. I still want time for my family. I still want that self-care time. I still want that social time. I still want that relationship with my spouse to be well, and it's all in equal proportions. And so these are definitely a few symptoms of a work-life imbalance, not balance, but imbalance. So bringing work home frequently. Okay. And so I am guilty of this too. And I think I became even more guilty of it even before the pandemic. When one of the rooms in my home, I was able to turn into an office. It's just me and my husband right now. In 3.5 months, we'll be welcoming our baby girl. But right now, I have an office in my home. And even before the pandemic, I was one of them like, well, if I don't get it done in the office, I can just bring it home with me. I have a computer here. I have a printer here. I pretty much have everything that I need. And occasionally, I don't believe anything is wrong with that, because we do get crammed at work with a lot of things. Again, there's not enough hours in a day. Of course, on average, they want you to work, maybe 7.5-hour shifts, maybe with a 30-minute lunch break or an hour lunch break. And so everything that you have to do, especially if you get called into meetings, you're not able to do some of your administration stuff that you have to do. But this is when it becomes more of an imbalance, when you're bringing work home all the time and there is not that boundary or that separation. If you decide, okay, Fridays, I'm going to bring my work home, but I'm only going to bring it home maybe 2 Fridays out of the month, as opposed to every Friday and you're working through the weekend. Or if you say, I'm going to bring my work home, every Wednesday, that might work for you. But this is where it becomes a challenge or issue. If you find yourself Monday, you're bringing your work home, Wednesday, you're bringing your work home, Thursday, you're bringing your work home, Friday, you're bringing your work home, and then you're doing work all weekend as well. And there's not enough time for you. And so only you as an individual can determine when you have reached your cap and you've gone beyond that with bringing your work home with you. Again, I'm guilty of it too, bringing it home on occasions with me, because again, depending on the season, depending on your job, depending on what you do, you may sometimes bring it home. But if you're bringing it home frequently, all the time, and there is not that boundaries, then you may have to go back to the drawing board and figure out in what ways can you bring that back to a balance. And then here's the opposite. Not only if you're bringing work home frequently, but then if you're staying at your workplace frequently. So instead of you coming home and bringing your work with you, you're just staying at your job all hours. You get in at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you're staying till 10 o'clock at night. You're the last one to leave. You're the last one to lock up. And again, on occasions, yes, that does happen. I'm not saying like on occasions or sometimes that happens, but then it becomes a work-life imbalance if it's frequently, if it's all the time, if every time a friend, a family, or someone is calling you, they're like, where you at? Well, I'm at work. You still at work? You at work again? You at work again today? And again, it's not maybe just once or twice out of the week. It is all the time. It is almost every day, and it's almost every week, and it's consistent all the time. Again, only you can determine where your cap is. And so again, staying at your workplace frequently could be a work-life imbalance. Here's another one. Canceling family plans or social plans because you have to work. Right? And so you and your family, you all plan this amazing trip, or just getting together for a barbecue, or especially around the holidays, that there are plans for you and your family to engage with each other and to have that quality time. And yet, as soon as your job calls, or as soon as your boss is reminding you of something, or a team member, or you get an alert about something, you run off or you cancel those plans to then do your work. And again, this will happen frequently. It will happen all the time. And so then that's when you like, man, okay, I may need to check myself and see where I am. And again, prioritizing. You have to decide what can wait. Because beloveds, here's the thing. For some people, we may feel like we may not have enough time, right? Like there's just not enough time to do everything that you have to do. But honestly, beloveds, it will never be enough time. It'll probably never be enough time all the time for you to do everything of what you need to do. But that quality time with family, that quality time with your spouse, if you're married or if you're in a relationship, that quality time, with your friends, you'll never get that time back. You'll never get that day back or that moment back. For example, yes, when I was a kid, I was really big on Halloween, not so much now, but let's say for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yes, we have these holidays every year, right? Every single year we have these holidays. But I can guarantee you this year, this Halloween, this Thanksgiving, this Christmas will never be like the ones in 2019. It will never be like the ones in the previous years. 2020 will have its own have its own memory of what's going on. We've experienced a lot of traumatic events this year, so much loss, so much adjustments, so much change in our life. the election. It's so much that's happened in 2020 that it'll never be another year like it. So then you will have to decide as an individual, what do I need to prioritize? What is more important to me? Because honestly, work is going to always be there. Work is going to always be there. But we can't fully say that the people in your life will always be there, because nobody knows. Nobody knows what can happen. Nobody knows any event that can take place. And so be mindful of when you're frequently canceling family plans or social plans because of work. Here we're getting more into the more physical symptoms. So again, we're all about the mind, the body, the behavior, spirituality, all of that. And so some of the things that you may start noticing with your body when you have a work-life imbalance is poor sleep. Definitely poor sleep. You have a hard time sleeping. You're just not getting enough rest. Or even if you are getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you're still exhausted because your mind is constantly going. Your mind is constantly moving. I have on here work-related dreams. You might start dreaming, all the time about work. Now, don't get me wrong, because for me, I'm a dreamer. Always have been. God speaks to me through my dreams. And so a lot of times, that will happen. And I will often dream about what it is, the next assignment that he's preparing or that he's planning for me. But those dreams that you have, they'll be frequent and they'll be specific. They'll be specific to the job. They'll be specific to your assignment. They'll be specific to your duties in which you have. And then you may find yourself just not being able to fully function to your full capacity because you're having a hard time sleeping and you're not getting not enough rest. Again, beloveds, in order for you to be successful, in order for you to help others, for sure, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your mind. You have to take care of your body. If you don't do those things, you're just running yourself down. You're running yourself, pretty much you're running yourself down. You're not giving yourself enough energy to sustain, to continue going. And so poor sleep, definitely. Another huge thing that I see this a lot with my clients and just experience is you may start to have short temper with some of your family members or with people that's close to you, people that are important to you. You might find yourself going, and having an attitude or going off on them over the smallest things, and you don't even know why. Like after it happens, you'll be like, man, why did I just do that? I don't even know why that came out that way. That's not even what I meant. That's not even how I intended it to be. You're really short-tempered. You're patient. You may find yourself pacing. You may find yourself pacing or not being fully present. You might be surrounded with family, but you're not there. You're not present because your mind is thinking about work. Your mind is thinking about, man, did I complete that? Your mind is thinking about, man, I didn't get that done, and the deadline is due. Today's Monday, so like the deadline is due on Wednesday, and I wasn't able to get started on it. I really should leave and go get started on it. And so you become real short-tempered with those that are closest to you. And then some of them, they may tell you, like, man, what's going on with you? What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Is there any way I can help? Or, what seems to be the problem? Or some of y'all, if you have real bold families, they be like, what's wrong with you? You need to get yourself together. I ain't do nothing to you. Why are you going off on me? I know some families, who are like that. They're just real bold like that. Or for those of you that are married, your spouse, and maybe wondering, okay, what's going on? Is there something that I can do to help? And then you may not even know because you're just frustrated and because you just want to be great. You want to be successful. And yet you feel like you're wasting time spending with your family. And beloveds, you're not wasting time. You're not wasting time with spending time with the people that you love. Again, work will be there tomorrow. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. Another thing that may happen with your physical bodies, you may get headaches, you may get migraines often. And usually sometimes that's tied in, for all of you coffee drinkers, it's tied into that if there's an increase in coffee because you're trying to stay awake. And so you're taking in more coffee and maybe not eating enough food, not drinking enough water. And so that then turns into headaches. It turns into migraines because now you have all of this extra energy of coffee inside of you to try to stay awake. You're not getting enough sleep. So now your body is physically telling you like, hey, we're working on overload here. and you're going to need to slow down a little bit because I'm about to crash. And so, beloveds, all I'm saying, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Your body is going to tell you when something is wrong. Your body is going to tell you when something is off. Do not ignore those symptoms because you're trying to be a Superman or that you're trying to be a superwoman. And I must admit, it is, especially over here in the United States, how it may be for other countries, I'm not 100% sure. But if you're watching and you're from another country, I would definitely would love to get your input or your insight in regards to how your country or how your island kind of workplace kind of runs. But here in the United States, I know it's kind of like that mindset or that or it's kind of preached to us, you know, if you're not working, you're not being successful. Kind of push you into that frame. You know, if you're not out doing something, you know, then you're not doing anything and that you're not accomplishing anything. You know, over here, it is about work, especially in the Midwest, in the Midwest. I've pretty much lived, you know, in all parts of the country with my father, you know, serving our country. He was in the Navy. So for me, with my personal experience, the Midwest is the most fast-paced part of our country, in my opinion. You know, it is. And so it's that work hard, play hard. You know, that's said, but a lot of times we don't get to the play hard. We just get to the work hard. We just work. And if we take a break, then it's like we miss something. And then we get criticized for missing something. And then we get upset with ourselves if somebody else, you know, that we work with or that we are around, they were able to accomplish what they needed to do and we didn't. And that's another thing too, beloveds. We cannot look at the next person or their accomplishments. Everybody is at a different pace. Everybody has different responsibilities. Everybody mindset, circumstances are all different, you know, for sure. It is all different. For example, people assume because it was just me and my husband, you know, for let's see, we've been married for 4.5 years. So that it was just me and my husband, that we had all the time in the world. We had all the time in the world to do everything. And yes, it might have appeared that way, you know, but nobody knows that my husband works 4 or 5 jobs. Pretty much. He works like 5 jobs, 4 jobs, 3 part-time, 1 full-time job, you know, or me, myself, I also have 3 jobs. And so our time is spent on that. You know, of course, when our little girl gets here, that will shift, that will then change. Then we have to then figure out our work-life balance. Yes, our work-life balance into having, you know, a newborn baby now coming into the picture, and we have to cater to her and cater to her needs, you know, and other families may have that experience, you know, where they had children and they learned how to have that balance. But, you know, I say that to say, you know, that everybody is different. Everybody is ran differently. Everything that you're capable of doing may not be everything that I'm capable of doing. What you're going through in your season is not what I'm going through in my season, you know, and so it's just important for you to get an understanding and realize, okay, you know, this is my cap. This is how much I can do before I need to take a break, or before I need to engage into self-care. So we're going to go ahead and transition to the solutions to a work-life balance. So if you may find yourself like, man, through all these symptoms, yes. Yes, that applies to me. Yeah, that's me too. Yes, that's me too. And so just a couple of solutions to a work-life balance. And I've said this already, but set limits and boundaries with others. You have to set limits. You have to set boundaries. You cannot say yes to everything. I know you may want to. I know you may feel like that you can do it, and you very much so can. But sometimes just because you can do something doesn't mean you always should. Why? Because in that moment, go take a vacation. You may need to find time to take a vacation. You may need that time to engage into a self-care moment, whatever that may be. And we may do a topic on self-care specifically, because a lot of people have their own opinions about self-care and their thoughts on it. And so I'm probably going to grab the LifeWire team, and I'm going to be interested to see, people's different thoughts and their opinions on what they feel is self-care, for sure. But we have to set limits. We have to set boundaries. You have to say to yourself, okay, from this time to this time, I'm doing this. But after that time, I'm shutting it down. I'm not opening up my laptop anymore. I'm not going to drink not another cup of coffee, or I'm shutting it down. Now it's family time. Now I get to do what I want to do. Now I get to binge watch, my favorite show on Netflix right now. Like, this is now my time. And don't let anybody interrupt your time so frequently that you become imbalanced. Another thing, know when to ask for help. Know when to ask for help. It is okay if you need help. It is okay if you need assistance. It is okay for you, especially those of you in a leadership role, a leadership position, delegate your work, your pile of work that you have onto some of your team members that for that support, for that additional support, so that they can help you, and that so everybody will achieve, everybody will win, then the work will get done entirely. And even with your work, you may not give them your duties or your responsibilities, absolutely not all the time. But hey, I have to write this proposal, and I just want to run this by you. I need assistance with this. I need help with writing it. Do you mind sharing some of your time? Or if you have some free time, can you assist me with this? Know when to ask for help. And again, listen to your body. What is your body telling you? What is your body telling you? When you start to get overwhelmed, when you start to get those headaches, when you start losing lack of sleep, you're not getting enough rest, when you find yourself forgetting to eat, that is a big thing that I hear a lot. Like, man, if you have to think about it, like, did I eat today? I don't even know. That's a great question. Oh, wait, that might have been yesterday. Like, if you're in deep thought about whether or not you ate, beloveds, then you're overwhelmed. Then you're doing a lot. And again, I'm talking about if this is frequently happening to you all the time, consistently all the time. But again, you know yourself best. You know yourself best. So for some, you may feel like, man, I was doing that yesterday. That could be just enough. Just that one day could be just enough for you to say, you know what? My work life is imbalanced right now. I need to put myself back on track. That's perfectly fine. For somebody else, it may take 3 days. Like, all right, this has been 3 days. I need to put myself back on track. But know when to ask for help, beloveds. You have that support group. You have that team. Ask. Do not be afraid to ask. Do not be ashamed to ask. Anything like that. Know when to ask. Another thing, purposefully plan and schedule social and personal time. Do not be ashamed if you're going into your phone and going into the calendar and you have to plan out and make out your schedule on when you're spending time with friends and family and setting that alarm. Do not be ashamed if that is you and that's something that you have to do in order to remember to having that personal time or that social time. It is perfectly fine. We have so many different ways that we can remind ourselves, when to do what it is that we need to do or what we have to do. So use it. Use it. Use your calendars, whether in your phone or if you're writing it down, use your alarms. Hey, definitely do it. Definitely utilize it. Here's a big one. Review and possibly reset life and career goals. So this is really huge when you have to adjust the expectations now or your obligations of life because things shifted. Or things changed. Or you really falling in love with the career that you are now, but yet you might be doing 2 other jobs. Review, the pros and cons if you were to let those other 2 jobs go because you want to focus on your career goal so that you can have more time to focus on that. And so you're not spreading yourself so thin because you're trying to do the other 3 jobs as well. And one thing I know, and just in my upbringing and what people told me, when you're doing so many things at once, eventually something is going to lack. Eventually something is going to slip through the cracks right from underneath you, and it's going to break and it's going to fall because you're trying to hold up everything. You're trying to carry so much and you're trying to walk. I wish I had a picture of that. That would be a great picture. You're trying to walk with amounts of things that you're involved in and you're trying to walk, but you can't see. You can't see because it's clouded or because the vision is blurry because you're doing so much and you're giving equal amount of time to all of it, which you're doing your best to do so. But eventually when you're juggling so much that might be too much for you, something eventually falls through the cracks. And so with that, when something does fall through the cracks, most people, they start doubting themselves. Most people, they be hard on themselves. They get depressed. They get angry. They get upset. They really feel downhearted and they start to feel as though they're a failure. And it's like, no, beloved, you're not a failure whatsoever. You were just juggling so much at once. Just move maybe a couple of things out of the way for a season. For 3 months, or for a month, or for 6 months, or for a year, move some of those things out of the way and then focus on the 5 remaining and then do that for a period of time. And then once you get back into that balance, once you get back into juggling well, then you can consider, adding something else to your plate. So just review. I'm sure all of us, the goals we have set for 2020, I'm pretty sure none of us, the goals we set for 2020, none of us have fully, did exactly all the goals that we wanted to do. So we might have to reset. We might have to readjust, go back to the drawing board. And then some of us might have had some unexpected, unexpected things that have come along that we didn't plan for. And that's okay too. So it's okay if you need to reset your life, reset your career goals, and again, prioritize. What is it that I want to accomplish right now? What are my short-term goals? What are my long-term goals? And you may have to readjust that. And that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. This is really big on relationships. So for all of you who are in a relationship and to all my married couples out there, definitely include your partner's perspective on the goals and boundaries. Include them in that decision. I know me and my husband, Jeremy, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time on our goals and then the boundaries that we're going to set that will work best for us to keep that work-life balance, as well as we are planning what our work-life balance is going to be like once our daughter gets here. All the traveling, all the singing, all the ministering, all the work for our church and our other jobs that we do, we have to reassess, how we'll be able to do and when to do it, because now we have someone else we have to consider, someone else that we have to look out for. And that's okay. Include them, allow them to help support you in that decision and in that goal making. And two, it'll keep your relationship in a healthy place. It'll keep your relationship in a healthy place. It'll keep that communication flowing and going. And then both of you will be on the same page for sure. And again, figure out the things that matters most to you. What matters most to you? For you, you have to matter to you. You have to matter to you. Especially for those of you who are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and maybe 50s, you feel like you have life, so much more life ahead of you. And yes, we do. Yes, in fact, we do. But that balance, just having out that balance and what matters to you most during this specific periods of time, and so does family matter most? Does work matter most? Like which one matters most? If both of them are equally important to you, if that's you, if you're that individual, then again, find that way to even balance. To just balance. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be more focused on work related, getting everything that I need to get done. I'm going to stay at work those hours, or I'm going to bring my work home, only for those days. That's it. But then Thursday through Sunday, it's going to be a little bit more focused on life, and that's just an example. That's just an example. You have to then again purposefully plan and schedule out what you feel is best for you. And so our last slide, work-life balance. This is kind of like an example on what it looks like. You have the person, the image in the center, and then you have everything else around it. Now notice that they're all in their different shapes and different bubbles. For sure, this might look perfect for someone who's watching right now, but for someone else, hobbies and interests may be a little bit bigger. Maybe a little bit bigger. However, everything else is still a perfectly balanced way of a work-life balance. You have spirituality, you have family time, you have rest, relaxation, friendships, time with significant other, travel, vacation, health and wellness, volunteering. That's a huge one for sure. Earning enough money, savings, and things like that. So it's all balanced. It has a more balance because you have everything that you want to do, everything that you have to do, but yet you have it all separated. And again, it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. You just really have to figure out what works best for you. And so again, be mindful. Be mindful of your symptoms. Be mindful of your symptoms. So pay attention to your body. Pay attention to people around you who loves you and who are sharing with you. Like, man, you're doing a lot. I know you have a lot going on, but when do you plan on taking a break? Do you need to take a break? Do you need help with anything? And usually those are them nicely saying, you're doing too much, honey. You need to sit down somewhere and I'm going to help you do it. Normally, that's kind of what that means. And so you beloveds have to find your perfect work-life balance. And again, determine right now in this season, during this time, what matters most. What are your priorities, and then make it fit to your schedule. But in doing so, do not leave out your health or your wellness, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. All of that matters, because again, if anything is imbalanced, if anything is not intact, then it's going to get a decline. It's going to have a decline, and it's definitely going to affect your behavior for sure. It's going to affect your behavior for sure. Again, beloveds, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. I don't have time for that, or unfortunately not this time. Maybe the next time though. I have a lot going on right now. I won't be able to be included for this. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for asking, but catch me on the next time. It's okay to say no. It's okay to set those boundaries, on what you can do, when you can do it. And again, you can't help others if you're ran down yourself. You just can't. You can't help other people around you if you yourself don't even have energy to even give out, because you pour it out. You pour it out all the time. You're giving yourself to your family. You're giving yourself to your friends. You're giving yourself to your spouse. You're giving yourself to your work. You're giving yourself away. That there's absolutely nothing left for you. And so it's important to schedule in that self-care. It's important to schedule just that fun time, that fun moment, celebration, reward system. Yes, after a long, hard work day and it was successful, go treat yourself. Go treat yourself. Go get yourself a little reward. Go get yourself some ice cream from Dairy Queen, or especially for my ladies out there. Hey, go to the mall and get you a nice pair of shoes. Don't do it. Doing it all the time. I'm not saying run your pockets blow and broke. I'm not telling you to just go spend all your coins, in rewarding yourself, but those small victories, and me and the LifeWire team, we always share this. Those small victories are just as important as those big victories. And so I definitely hope this was helpful. I'm going to go back to the comments now. Just to make sure that you all don't have any questions. So we are going to touch on this a little bit more. Because a lot of this has definitely shifted once the pandemic hit, right? And so a lot of you may be saying, man, I was perfectly balanced until the pandemic hit. Why? Because I am working from home. I'm teaching my kids from home. My spouse is always at home. And so everything now is in this one place that I live. So it's like I'm sleeping in my home, I'm working in my home, I'm helping my kids at home, I'm with my spouse at home, or I'm with my best friend, my roommate, and everything is in one area. And there is no outlet. There is no space. I can't really go out because not a lot of places are open, or maybe I don't feel safe. So this is when you have to be creative, right? This is when you have to be creative, and even with that, balance. For those of you who have kids, really talking with your spouse, properly planning and preparing. Okay, Monday through Thursday or Monday through Wednesday, I'll prepare and cook the dinner while you help the kids do their assignments. The other days we'll reverse it. You cook and clean, and I'll help the kids with the assignments, and so that there is a balance in that. And I understand that's difficult. Trust me, as the counseling, we're as counselors, we're really trying to get, we're getting more training, we're getting more information on how to support you all in the pandemic when there's nowhere else to go. There's not many places to engage into that self-care, because where you used to go is not even open. It's not open, or it's a limited amount of people. And when you do have time to go is during the worst times where it's overly crowded. And so this is when you have to be creative. This is when you get to discover new ways and new self-care moments and ideas, that you can do, that you can engage in, going out the box, trying things that you've never tried before, and just test and see that you will like it. For some, it's like, okay, yeah, that might have been easier over the summer, but the winter is approaching, and so it's going to get cold. And normally my getaway or my self-care was walking to the park, was walking to the park and getting that fresh air, and experiencing that. One or two things. One, what did you do prior to the pandemic when the winter got here? And then two, just change the surrounding, your bedroom or your office, well, maybe not your office, but maybe a space or a basement Anywhere that may have a TV, candles, dim lights on your TV screen, go to YouTube, pull up, soothing sounds or soaking music or relaxation, sleeping music, get in your comfortable clothes and just relax. Relaxing for that 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour. Again, I'm just throwing different ideas. We'll have so much more as time goes on throughout the month. But, yes, absolutely, Sherry. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to take turns doing things. Everything should not be just on one person. One person to do everything while you're in the house in the pandemic. Everybody is balancing. Everybody is trying to balance. And so, yes, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. And if your partner or significant others, if they do not want to have that balance, then that is a communication. No, that is not communication. Excuse me. That conversation. That you two may need to have in a safe space, in a safe place, in a calming, relaxing tone that you share with your spouse or your significant other and how you feel and propose why. Why is it important for you all to balance? Why is it important for you all to equally, share the responsibility, now that you all are in a pandemic and everybody is in the house? And so work-life imbalance, yay! We'll talk more about it throughout the month. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry we were coming on late today, but we are definitely here every Monday. Thank you all so much for watching. Please share, like, comment, all of those good things. Again, my name is Shar, the director of the LifeWire team. I want to thank my production team for assisting me. Of course, my boss, Miss Rain, who did a phenomenal, wonderful, awesome job on Saturday night with releasing Heart Songs, her new album Heart Songs. Definitely proud of you, boss lady. And those that were there and those that were streaming, we were truly blessed. So you may definitely get that Psalmist Rain Heart Songs. Her new album is so precious. It's so beautiful. It's wonderful. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. And so just tune in throughout the week with what the Refresh Team Global, what we have in store for you. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for tuning in to the LifeWire Lifeline, and I will talk to you later. Have a blessed week, beloveds. Don't forget to balance, and self-care.
Hi, my name is LaJoy Mitchell, and I am a member of Refresh Global. I am so excited. I was led to learn more about Refresh Global about a year and a half ago. My life has not been the same, and I've seen tremendous growth in me. So the mission is correct. Through one encounter at a time, the world is refreshed. I am a testament of that. I have seen such growth in me, in my learning, but also hunger for more of the Word of God, but then also hunger as it relates to understanding kingdom solutions and that I am a solution in this earth and I can understand at a deeper level my purpose to help and do that. And Refresh Global has provided me that opportunity to help be a solution through the music and arts ministry. I'm able to help with also through LifeWire and learning the behind the scenes pieces with that. There's so many things that Refresh stands for that has impacted my life in tremendous ways. And the beauty of that is there are seeds that are planted that I know will come into fruition even years to come beyond my servitude and being a part of this team. And that is better than any other education I could think of being able to receive that I have received. The opportunity and knowing my purpose, my plan that God has for my life, and being able to serve and give that out and understand what true kingdom solutions are and how we can continue to cultivate those and see more encounters happen all across the world. So the impact is huge on my life. So I encourage you to learn more about Refresh Global. If you don't know about who we are as a nonprofit organization, check out our website, learn more through this Refreshathon. But my life has not been the same. I continue to grow, and I'm so excited to see where I'm going. And I'm excited to see where you're going as you learn more about Refresh Global.
Join us for a time of mental health wellness tips at our LifeWire Lifeline, Mondays at 12 noon on Facebook Live. Parents, grab your preschoolers and join us for fun with music and movement on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom. Every Friday evening, we gather on Facebook Live for a time of prayer. Let's pursue God.